Our opening today is going to be an opening. We are going to go ahead and open our Sipsby for whatever month this is from. I honestly have I have no idea anymore. I think it's from last month. We're early in October. But we'll find out. Let's open this up. Okay, so this is Tea Matches. Yes, this is for September. They sit here because I wait for opportunity to open them instead of opening them by themselves. And this was my first opportunity. Anyway, Tea Matches for Domino. Welcome to September, the gateway to autumn. It's almost time for cozy sweaters, changing leaves, and endless cups of hot tea in the new season. Changing leaves and dying gardens. And yeah, that's happening. Starting with your personalized tea matches this month. Don't forget to rate them. So blah, blah, blah. And of course, they have all the stuff on the back about that. The first thing in here is, of course, the tea bags I never use anymore. And then, oh, there's some interesting things in here. That's okay. Okay. I'm actually interested. Ooh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull this one right out. Esther Raspberry Herbal Tea. Look at that. And look at that. She's chunky. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to try this one for this video, I think. Watch it. There's something else in here that I'm going to say. We're going to try this one for this video, I think. But that sounds cool. I like that. Raspberries, apple pieces, hibiscus, rose hips, and our secret made with love ingredients. They have secret ingredients. 1 teaspoon for every 8 ounces of water, 212, 5 to 10 minutes. It's going to be a long steep. Might be too long for the type of video we're doing today, which is making up our face. So, but I want to try that. Okay, another loose one we have in here is from Rainy Day Tea Company. This just says rainbow. Looking to brighten your day? This colorful herbal blend is a beautiful fruity treat that even changes color. Just add lemon. Congratulations, you found the teapot at the end of the rainbow. This one also has apple bits, rose peel, hibiscus, citrus peel, rose petals, cornflower petals, blue butterfly pea flower, Roman chamomile, marigold petals, marshmallow blossoms, lemon myrtle, citrus slices, and apple slices. 1 teaspoon per 8 ounce, 212, 5 minutes. This one might actually make it. Doesn't look like there's a lot of tea stuff in there, but she looked chunky too. We all know I like the chunky teas. I have learned that, when I first started Sipsby, I only wanted bag teas. And I have since learned that it is just much better to have the loose teas because they're chunkier and they have much more flavor. All right, so next we have from... Okay, I'm going to have to look at the card to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Sabroso chai from Cruzita. Blend of rose petals and maternal love. Says sample on it. Another beautifully chunky tea. I love the chunky teas. That's neat. Sabroso. I'm wondering what that means. I'm sure it means something. And then finally we have bag teas from Pacific Coast. From the Art of Tea with their Pacific Coast Mint. And I think I've tried their teas. I think I've liked their teas in the past. They tend to be chunky even though they're bagged. And Tisane blend, refreshing, sharp, smooth, caffeine free. 8 to 12 ounces of water, 206, 5 to 7. Organic spearmint and organic peppermint. That's all that's in here. Alrighty, let's take a look at our card and see if there's anything else on the card. All of these are caffeine free. I can live with everything being caffeine free. Esther Raspberry. A fruit-infused herbal tea bursting with flavor and fragrance. Esther Raspberry tea includes real raspberries and apple pieces, hibiscus, and rose hips. Like I said, a 5 to 10 minute steep. Do I want to try this or the Sabroso? Let's see what's on the Sabroso, and then I'll decide. Let's see what it says about the Sabroso. The Sabroso is a chai. Sabroso chai. Lovely blend of flowers and cranberry with a hint of mint to refresh your morning or afternoons. Steep 4 to 5 minutes the usual 1 teaspoon, 8 ounces of water. I think we're going to try this one. This sounds really neat. It sounds really neat. Okay. The Rainbow by Rainy Day Tea Company. Looking to brighten up your day, this colorful herbal blend even changes colors. Okay, so we already talked about that on the back of that. So there's the Rainbow. And then finally, Pacific Coast Mint by Art of Tea. This is sip this sharp and minty spearmint and peppermint tea at any time of the day for a subtle and refreshing lift. All right, so all of our teas sound really, really neat. I've got a confession to make. I have not been doing any rating of the teas lately. I don't think about going there to do them. So, but yet they still are sending me some really neat teas that I'm actually interested in trying. So yeah, I'm really interested in trying the Sabroso. I'm really looking forward to this one. It sounds really up my alley, but like I said, most of the teas they send are pretty much up my alley. And I'm really excited about it. Hope you are too. So hello and welcome to Dommy Tries This. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is one of my Amy Brown coffee mugs that my daughter got for me. I picked it out because we're heading into fall. Heading into fall. Things are cooling off. And she's a pretty, pretty, pretty mug. She's a pretty, pretty mug. I actually want more from this collection. And as you saw earlier, we are doing the Sabroso tea from, Cruzita. I can get it, the Cruzita. I have to say, I can still smell hints of it. When I opened this tea is quite fragrant. It was very beautiful. I'm hoping that the flavor lives up to the scent. So we're going to go ahead and give this a sip so we can go ahead and get started. And can I say go ahead any more times? Probably. Let's just. Okay, the scent is not nearly as strong when it's in the water. Probably not a bad thing. She's really delicate right now. Really delicate right now. So we're going to wait and hope we get to the 5 minutes it needs to steep. I think that's what Sipsby said, about 5 minutes to steep. And you all know how these videos go. If you've been here long enough, you know I film the actual creating of the look beforehand. So sometimes the tea just doesn't quite make it. All right, so today I am... Folks, in case you didn't know, I turned 60 this week. And I got myself a present. I say I got myself a present. But to be honest with you, whenever my husband and I get presents for each other, we just buy our own. We just buy our own. That way we get what we want. And it's not often that he surprises me. Occasionally he does. I'll get myself a present and he goes out and gets something else that I never thought of. So occasionally he does. But usually we have this same wavelength thing going on that I don't even understand. So it's really hard to surprise each other with presents. At any rate, so I got myself a present. You all should recognize this palette. It was in our last, Is It New video, the very first one we've started doing the series again, the very first one with my daughter. And I said I was really interested in it. And that is the Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet. And here she is. She's been used. She's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And I did note when I when we were talking that I was interested in this just because Blend Bunny has a very good formula. It's up there with Nomad for me, just like Cosmic Brushes is up there with Nomad. Those three have become my favorite brands, so it's no surprise that I went ahead and picked it up. Plus, they take Afterpay, which makes it easier to buy yourself a birthday present from your husband when you turn 60. And I did note that one of the things that I was curious about is if their pastels would hold up. So we're going to try this today. I will admit I did take one color out of another palette because this does not have, while it has a number of darks, the one dark it doesn't have is something like a pinky purple or maroon in here, and I needed that. So I did bring in the Cosmic Brushes, the Delights palette. We're going to go with that. And I used this one shade Jelly Bean right here from this palette. That is the only shade I used in this palette, but I did kind of want that shade. I wish they did have something similar to that in this one, but we will talk about all of that after we do the look. I've also applied the Sugar High lip oil over my lipstick, and we'll talk about that too. So this palette was opened up, by the way, on my Facebook. And honestly, if you're interested in things of that nature, you probably should go ahead and go into join the domytriesthis Facebook group, and you'll get, every now and then I do put something up a little different just for them. Every now and then. It's not often, but every now and then. At any rate, if you're interested in this look or knowing about this, how this palette works, just keep on watching. I do have an idea of where I want to go with this. I'm really excited to try this out, as I'm sure I've said already. But I do have kind of a way I want to go and work with these. But it doesn't have some of the darker colors that I need. And so I am bringing in the Cosmic Brushes Delicious Delights as well for a couple of shades. Mostly for my crease corners and stuff like that. You know, the way I darken out here the way I normally do. But I do have an idea, so we are going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to get a fluffy brush. And I am going to start with this color Bellyache and put that underneath the brow. First test. I'm really glad we have beautiful lighting to do this in today. Normally, you all know I don't have bright lighting in here, but we're doing this in the middle of the afternoon, so we've got the sun coming in, and it's going to hopefully really show some things up. This is a big palette to work with. I do see the color coming in. I don't know about you guys. She's light. She's almost blendable with my skin tone if I blend it out enough. She's blended out pretty. She's blending out pretty. Okay, so I suspect part of the reason that I'm sitting here and doing this over and over again is that I am far too used to working with colors that just either show up or don't. And if they don't show up, I'm always over layering them. But we're going to make that our last one. I already see some issues coming in on the inner corner, of course. My eyes, y'all. My eyes. All right, I'm going to go ahead and do the first part of this. I'm going to get all the way to the outer corner color, and then we'll work on the other eye, and then I'll come back and finish this eye off. So, like I said, have a plan. I have a plan. All right, so for the next color that I'm going to use, I'm going to grab one of these. I'm going to get it damp. Find the hole. Try to get on there and get it damp. And I'm going to take this color. So I'm going to start with this color Cupcake. I'm going to take that about a third the way through. Then I'm going to grab this color Ruffles and put it across the middle. And then I'm going to take Party Dress, which is the matte, and put it on the outer corner. So let us start with Cupcake. She's pretty. She's pretty. They pretty. I do not remember if Blend Bunny does well on my inner corners. Cosmic did okay. Nomad does okay. Most brands don't. I don't remember if I had trouble with Blend Bunny or not. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, look at that, babe. Look at that. We are going to have some lighter colors. That is gorgeous. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty. It is so pretty. Think I could say that one more time? That is so pretty. I managed to get it one more time. Okay, so for the other one, I'm going to go on the other side of my applicator here. Get that side wet. I don't think Blend Bunny has the same formula that Nomad has, that you can just use a damp brush on it. So we're just going to stick with the sponge applicators. And we're getting this color Ruffles. Ruffles. Ooh, she's coming right up. She's coming right up. Hi, Ruffles. And we're going to put that across the lid. Oh my goodness. Pretty. Blending it in a little bit by going over the edge where the yellow is, where Cupcake is. And then just going across the top here. And over. I didn't pull you guys in close. I am so sorry. That's okay. You can see what I'm doing, right? We all know you don't want my mug that close, do you? Okay, so I'm going to take this color Party Dress, which is kind of a melony color. She's looking a little dusty, but that just might be the shade. And we're going to put that on the outer side. Oh, she's coming up. These are colors, these oranges in particular are colors that I typically have trouble with. And again, I'm going over the edge of where the pink is to kind of blend that color into the other color so there's not this sharp line. That helps blend them in a bit. I am getting some fallout. There is kickback in the pan, but neither of those bother me. I'm just letting you all know in case some of you have issues with that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and then we'll be back to finish this eye up. All right, so we pulled you closer. I think I'm only going to get one shade out of here, and that is this shade Jelly Bean. And I'm going to do my point with it, the curve that I do. I think I can use one of the darker shades in the Sickly Sweet to deepen the actual crease. But I wanted something that isn't quite my shirt color, but leans in that direction to do this part. So we're putting that in. And it actually seems to go quite well with the theme. So we're putting it in the top part of the crease, and then we're bringing it up, Yeah, you can see where I'm starting to lose some there. My eyes. They be aggravating sometimes. Just doing my thing. And then do a lot of this, just sort of blend out that edge. I actually like that with that color. Yeah. All right, let's do the other side before I switch palettes again. It's just really beautiful. It's going to be nice to have, well, I haven't given a final opinion on it yet, but it's going to be nice to have a couple of pastel palettes that I can really work with. The other one I know that I have is from Nomad. But in general, most companies' pastels just my skin just says, oh, hi there. I'm going to eat you up. And this is doing nicely. I mean, even this color here, that if I blended it out on the back of my hand, it would probably disappear, is showing up beautifully. Okay. All right. I am not mad at that. Not mad at that. Getting back into our sickly sweet. And I think I'm going to use, I'm trying to decide, do I want to go with morose or do I want to go with spooky? Do I want to go with morose or do I want to go with spooky? Might want to do morose just because the colors I'm using right now. Yeah, I don't think spooky will fit that. What do you think? I think we're going to go with morose. So taking my triangular brush. I was so glad that some ladies had these easy crease definers from, what is this, Complex Culture? Because they don't exist anymore. And this is one of my favorite shaped brushes for dealing with my crease. All right, so getting into morose, again, we're going to go in the crease. She's going to be light, but that's fine. That's fine. And we're just doing in the crease. And slightly above the crease so that she kind of shows. And then go out on the edge. Down here a bit. Have a crease I have a bit there that doesn't want to cover. There we go. Kind of got it. Okay, I am going to find, I'm at the point where I seriously need to wash my brushes. It takes too long. So I'm taking another fluffy brush. She's a nice, this is an Estate brush. This is their EEP03. And I'm going to take that along the top edge of that purple to blend it out. Again, so we get more of a gradient instead of having it all in. It is is very light for what I'm used to doing. But again, I'm used to doing what I'm used to doing because, you know, pastels don't show up on me. I will probably use some of the darker colors under here, and I might, hold on, thinking, I think I'm going to take some of this color Cry If I Want To, and I'm just going to put it in the very outer corner. I don't want it to go, you know, I'm going to take this brush. This is one of my Modas. Another group I like. Okay, so I'm going to take this color Cry If I Want To, and I'm putting it just on the tip and tapping some of it off. And we're just going to go out here with it and just do a slight deepening under and around that area where that purple is. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish my face. And I didn't use much of this, but we are going to talk about it. I'll be back. Alrighty, so I did have to do some touch up on the shimmers on the inside, but they were holding up fairly well. It's just my eyes, folks. They are doing probably just about as good as Nomad did. I'm not getting gaping holes, at least I wasn't. Better check, right? Okay, so we are starting to get a little bit up in here and a little bit up in here, mostly in the crease. The ones that don't do well in my eyes, literally everything in the inner corner disappears and I end up with this big hole there. So let's take a look at this. I'm not touching it up right now. I'm not going to touch it up so that you can go ahead and take a look. But yeah, it is starting to fall apart a little bit. So just be aware. That's my eyes. That's not, don't blame the palette for that. So, what do I think? Well, first of all, I'm going to say these pastels work. They, like I noted when I was actually doing the look, I am not accustomed to using pastels because in general, pastels don't work on my skin. They just disappear. They vanish. They go away. My skin eats them up. So it's always nice to get a pastel palette that actually can hold up a little bit to my skin. There are colors in here that are going to be difficult for me to use because of the skin tone thing. That said, these were nice. The shimmers, there's not many shimmers in here, as you'll note. There's 6 total in here, and it's like a 30 pan palette. So there's not many shimmers in here. But that said, they do hold up. They do hold up well. And I'm going to have to play with this yellow next time, I think. For the shades that I did use, and knowing that a couple of those shades probably would get eaten up by my skin, bellyache, they did really, really well, honestly. And that dark party dress on the outer corner did really well. So I'm going to say that I'm not surprised at this palette. It's actually working very well. I am surprised that it worked as well as it did in terms of the pigmentation showing up on my skin in particular. It's a nice palette. I also appreciated that everything blended out beautifully and it was very easy to use. I had built a few things up, mostly because, like I said, when I was actually doing the look, I'm not used to having things so light and pastel. And so it's a little harder for me to judge when I've gotten enough up, like particularly under the brow was when I did that. But in general, they applied beautifully and they showed up and they're really, really, it's really nice. So if you're interested in this palette at this point, I'm going to have to say go for it if you really want some pastels. This is, I think, the perfect colorful palette for people who prefer nudes but want to play with color, because most of these colors are nice and light and aren't going to be like what I normally wear, which is the really bright, the colors are here kind of colors. These kind of colors I think will work really well for someone who just wants to dabble in a little color and doesn't want to be really bright. There's a couple of brighter shades in there, but in general, it's I think it's a beautiful palette that somebody of that, that's more preference to nudes but wants to play with a little bit of color. I think this kind of palette would probably make that person more comfortable to try color with, rather than going to, like bright fuchsia pink or whatever. So, really like it. This should be no surprise. I have a couple of other Blend Bunnies that I really do like and really enjoy. Really like and really enjoy these. And I'm pretty much not surprised. I'm very happy with it. And I'm looking forward to playing it with it some more. Probably tomorrow night when I have to film something else. The lip gloss. I did put it over a bright red. Let me see if I can find it for you. So this is the red that I used. I still have these swatches from earlier. That's the red lipstick that I initially used. Now, my only complaint about this is this really thick topper. This really thick, spongy thing. So, I'll put some of that over that. I'm going to put another little swatch of this red next to it, so you can see the difference. So you can see that the oil toned down the brightness of that red. So there is enough of a tint in these oils to actually adjust colors without being too dramatic in that adjusting. It feels very comfortable on the lips. I'm not feeling sticky. It's comfortable. It's nice. So I know a lot of oils, they can tend towards stickiness. This one's not doing that. So I'm very pleased with that. I do want to try the blue one of these days, but I'm going to have to wait until they have another palette out. The Sickly Sweet, I don't know. I will have to let you know down below if this is going to be limited edition. I'll link it down below and let you know if this is limited edition. I don't know. I'm really hoping the colors are not for the oils, because like I said, I'd like to try the blue, but my Afterpay is kind of full up right now. Qualification. I could buy a lot more, but not without sinking my finances right now. So, yeah, I had to put in a hair care order today. So. But, yeah, I'm really liking this. I'm kind of hoping that the two shades are not going to be limited edition. If they are, they are. I mean, so it goes. At any rate, so I do highly recommend this. I do like the way it applied. I do like the way everything blended. It blended beautifully with the Delights palette. Anyway, so that's my opinion on this palette. I'm honestly not surprised that's my opinion on this palette. I'm excited to be able to go ahead and play with it some more and add it to the collection. This one definitely be a keeper. I have a few that I'm already thinking about moving out, some more stuff, because I'm not filming as much or as frequently. So I'm looking at some of the palettes that I'm not using and kind of going, I'm thinking about moving those just out. And but this one I think will stay. This will stay. I like this. I really like this. At any rate, that is it for the day, and I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen, I hope you will like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you're not yet subscribed and part of the Dommy Squad or part of the Dragonettes, whichever one you want to call it. Become a Dragonette and join the Dommy Squad. There we go. We do more than makeup. In fact, we are doing less makeup in general, and our gardening videos have wound down by now. I think I've just posted my last one. We're just trying to get things to finish coloring up so that we can go ahead and harvest and start doing what we need to do to take care of the dirt. That's all. So there won't be much more going on out there, really. But, you know, we do cooking and baking and geeky things, and we just try to do different things. So I hope you will go ahead and join us and let people know about us. Go ahead and comment down below. Are you going to pick up the Blend Bunny Sickly Sweet? And that, like I said, that's it. So our tea should have been in here for its 5 to 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and give her a sip, and we can get on out of here. It is still delicate, but oh, that's nice. I am trying to determine if that sweetness in there is the sugar I added, or if there's something from the tea that's making it sweet. Might be the apples and stuff that is bumping up the sweetness a bit more, because it wasn't tasting that sweet when I first tried it at the beginning of the video. When I repurchase this, I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna have to think about it. I think I'm gonna have to try it with a little bit less of my sugar to see where it goes with less of the sugar that I add, and see if I like it and get slightly stronger flavors that aren't so overwhelmed by the sweetness at this point. But beyond that, it's a beautiful, delicate tea. I'm not getting a lot of that mint. There's a bit of a refreshment towards the back end, I guess, that I'm kind of feeling, but I'm not really getting a lot of the taste of it, if that makes sense. All right, so that's it. Hope you have a good one.